So, what are the common chronic injuries? The first is basic, the joints and ligaments. Okay, then muscles, then inflammation. Okay, so these are the basic common chronic injuries. Okay, so first, joints and ligaments, how you guys can save someone's joints and ligaments, and how you guys can give them modifications, variations to improve their range of motion so they can free while practicing the asana, so they can enjoy. Okay, second, the muscles, how you guys can engage your muscles, how you guys can stretch your muscles. Okay, which muscles you guys have to engage while practicing the asanas. Then third, inflammation. Let's say you guys have some inflammation in your ankles, toes, in your arms, in your legs, how you guys can teach someone, which asanas you guys can teach someone while practicing the asanas. Make sense? Is they can perform asanas or not? Those who have inflammation, those who have a joints problem, those who have a muscles problem, are they able to perform that asana or not? So as a teacher, we have to be aware of these things if you guys gonna teach someone. Okay, so first we're gonna talk about the joints and the ligaments. The basic today, the wrist. Okay, how you guys can save someone wrist, which exercise you guys can teach someone. Okay, so example, what are those asanas where you guys can hurt your wrist, or those who have a wrist problem, which asanas we have to avoid?
I think doing Ashtanga series.
Yeah, Ashtanga, yes.
Definitely hurt his.
Yes, especially if someone never learned Ashtanga, never done asanas practice, they can definitely hurt their wrist while practicing the Ashtanga Vinyasa, because Ashtanga Vinyasa, it's not for beginners. Okay, you have to teach some modifications or variations to improve your Ashtanga Vinyasa practice. Okay, so before you guys going to lead someone, you have to teach what? Pavan Mukta Asana, the first joints rotations things. Okay, that comes in Hatha. Hatha, the traditional form of yoga. Pavan Mukta Asana means Pavan means air, yes, and Mukta means release. So basically we have to release the tension from the joints so we can find that perfect angle and we can move freely. Okay, so with the wrist joint, how we can save? So first thing, what I have seen while practicing the arm balancing, basically like the basic posture is tabletop. You have seen this. A lot of people, they do tabletop first, doing high plank, downward facing dog. First we have to understand the tabletop, how we can save our wrist. So which movements I can perform to improve my range of motion for my wrist? Basic, I can do some wrist movement.
So proper warming up of the joint.
Yes, so basic wrist movements with active movements, not with the passive movements. Okay, so I have to move my wrist with my own efforts, where I can engage my muscles, where I can release the tension from my joints. Make sense? Okay, so the best way is do this exercise. There are so many exercises where you guys can play with your wrist joint. Make sense? Then we have to use sometimes the body weight as well to increase more strength in your wrist. Okay, example, I'm doing tabletop. As a beginner, yes, I can stay here, I can do this, I can do this, okay, and then I can move forward as much as I want. Okay, what happened with beginners practitioners? What happened those who have a wrist problem? Just because of some people, they have hyper wrist, some people they don't have that much flexibility in their wrist joint. Okay, example, if I'm doing this, means I'm doing extension of my wrist. Is it 90 or not?
Yes.
Okay, so it means I have a good wrist. But if it is here, it means then I have lack of flexibility in my joint. Okay, if it is beyond more than extension, then it means I have hyper wrist. Okay, so these are the things. But how I can develop the strength? I have to develop the strength with wrist movement, with active movements. Rather than I'm doing handstand, crane pose, crow pose, downward facing dog, high plank. These all are advanced. Okay, but I'm gonna teach my students those asanas as well. But I have to warm my wrist first in a safe way where I can gain the strength and flexibility and where I can improve my range of motion. Okay, so what are the exercises you're gonna teach? Got it? Okay, these all are active movements.
Side also.
Side, whatever here you guys can teach. Fist, movements, then day by day you wanna put some weight over your wrist to develop the strength. Okay, so you're gonna teach this, movement this, whatever comes to you. Then day by day you want to improve more. So you're gonna teach high plank, then you're gonna teach high plank variations there. Okay, so you have to teach this to save your wrist joint and to develop the strength in your wrist joint. Make sense? Then next, the neck movement. Because a lot of time we're performing a backward extension, we're performing a forward fold, we're performing a lateral asanas as well. How we can fix our neck, how we can save our neck so we're not gonna injure ourselves. Example, give me the one pose. If I'm doing backward extension, doing this, a lot of people what they do, they compress their neck. Don't you guys think that? And while performing a backward extension, while coming back from the backward extension, they feel dizziness. It happens or not? So this is a wrong way completely to move your neck all the way back. Okay, so how you guys can save your neck while performing a backward extension? We have to move our chin forward and then upward. Do by yourself as well a little bit. See, just try to move your chin forward, expose the chest and pull the chin forward and upward, forward and upward. You're getting a stretch on front part of your neck. Make sense? Why? Because we have to lengthening the neck, the cervical, the C7, so we can create a space there for the backward extension. Okay, but a lot of people what they do, they're not gonna lift the head up, they do directly. It means they're falling back. They're not getting a stretch on their neck. They're just compressing this part more and more. Okay, but ideally we have to lengthening the both part of the neck. So we're not gonna compress one side. Okay, this is for backward extension. Even in cobra pose, even in upward facing dog, even in standing back bend extension, we have to always move our chin forward and upward so we can feel the stretch here. Not only on our neck, we have to feel the stretch on the entire front body. That's what means backward extension. Make sense? Now, what about the forward fold? While doing forward fold, I have seen a lot of practitioners, which is, I think it's a good approach as well to move forward. But once you become an advanced practitioner, once you become an intimate practitioner, you have to rest your neck. Don't you guys think that? Because in backward extension, what's happening? We're getting a stretch here, the front part of your neck. But in forward fold, a lot of time the people getting a stretch here because they wanna put efforts to move forward. This what happened? The teachers, they always teaching you to expose your chest, bend the knees, look front, pull yourself forward. Still, what's happening? I'm getting a stretch on my neck. No, contracting. What do you mean by contracting? Shortening the muscles?
Pushing the leg forward too much?
Yes, but still, don't you think that I'm getting a stretch on my neck? Still, I'm doing backward extension. I'm not relaxing these muscles. Okay, I'm still just doing this, getting a stretch here. But in forward fold, I have to feel stretch. Yes, see, do by yourself in order to improve, in order to put efforts. Yes, which is good because you want to improve your posture, but at the end you want to relax as well. So we have to do what? We have to bring our chin towards the chest slightly so we can get a stretch on the back part of the neck. Make sense? You can feel by yourself which one is good. But right now we are beginners, so we want to put efforts. So that's why we want to look one step forward so we can move ourselves more forward. We can think about what? How we can expose the chest, to move the chest first and then chin, and then you're gonna rest your head like this. Okay? Make sense? Okay. So these are the basic things as a yoga teacher, as a yoga practitioner, you should know, and how you guys can teach someone while practicing the asana, because there are so many asanas And neck also, it's a sensitive part. Okay, and then there is one more posture, a triangle pose. I have seen a lot of time people performing a triangle pose, they complaining about a neck pain. Okay, and triangle pose, it's asymmetric asana as well. It means I have to do from my left side, then I have to do with my right side. Okay, so while performing a triangle pose, forget about my body right now, okay, how I'm doing, just focusing on the neck part. So right now the people, they just want to move forward as much as they want, and then the teacher is saying look up, otherwise look down, look front. But as a practitioner, I want to take benefits, I want to look up, I want to focus on my gazing point, so I have to look up, but I'm getting a pain here. Don't you guys think that?
Yeah.
Why?
Because you are twisting.
Yes,
Moving your neck.
twisting only without creating a space here. So what I can do, I have to look down first, then I'm gonna move my chin up, which is rotation, and then I'm gonna push my chin away from my shoulders, and then I can move as much as I want. You can try right now by yourself as well.
Left face.